Welcome back to the OMG Closer series. Today we're going to dive back into the sales call and cover how to approach your prospecting efforts with a plan, one which allocates time and makes sure that you're prepared with the right tools to do the job. A plumber needs a plunger, right? A doctor needs a stethoscope. Well, in your practice, it's no different. So let's get started. Come along, won't you? So you've got your list. It's loaded into the CRM. Before the end of the day, you need 100 dials and at least 3 hours of phone time to be successful here at OMG. Your sales manager's given you a pep talk, and it's time to smile and dial. Now you need to know what you're going to say. You need a script until you've committed it to memory. But you don't want to sound canned. You don't want to sound like a used car salesman. We'll get more into that in a future episode. But before we do, let's quickly break down the act of prospecting, or as I see it, the art of prospecting. Cold call prospecting must be a part of your day. The amount of cold calling you do should be defined by the number of warm or hot leads you're working, right? Wrong. What I'm going to suggest is that you create a time block for yourself, ideally the same time each day. You remember, for the sake of being consistent, that once you do, you don't schedule callbacks on top of it to conflict. So carve out a block each day, or perhaps multiple blocks, during which time you are actively prospecting. At OMG, this is the way to make a name for yourself and for the company in the vertical markets you're working. Our marketing strategy and our vertically targeted ads can only do so much. The way to move the needle is by doing the work, setting goals for yourself, and how many suspects you need to convert into prospects each day to get the number of sales you need. There are countless ways or countless reasons why we work vertically in vertical markets, meaning within a specific industry or profession. From the sales standpoint, the first reason why it's a good idea is that with enough research and generalized qualifying, you can execute a cold call in a way that's no longer cold. There's an old contractor's expression. It's measure twice, cut once, and it means prepare properly. We've all been in sales situations where we weren't prepared, and reflecting back, the call would have gone much better had you been prepared, right? No need to share examples. You'll know when you're having a conversation where a little more info, a little deeper product knowledge, a better understanding of your prospect's company would have served you well. So how do you make sure you've planned as best you can? You've got your assigned market to work. And for the sake of today's discussion, let's use the pool and spa industry, something that we're working on as a company now. You have our CRM, Uni, and it's open, and your list is in your private pool of leads. If your prospects are part of a group or an association, and that's notated on the list you're working, make sure you pay attention to that. But it's 6 degrees today in Pennsylvania. So though they had a great year and they're likely sitting on a pile of cash to reinvest in their marketing, you're going to improve your odds by honing in geographically as well in warmer weather states. So use your filter. Start with Florida, California, Arizona, maybe Texas. Next, you want to have a couple additional tools at your disposal so that you can move through your leads and react on the fly during your presentation. Those things are LinkedIn, so that you can research your prospect and any other decision makers, should they be active on LinkedIn. You can use Facebook a lot of times in the same way. There are others like Zoom.info, but the bottom line is you want to have a way of looking into a prospective client or other decision makers that you're going to have to speak to at their company. You also, kind of obvious, but you want to have Google open and have the main keyword search saved to your clipboard. This way, as you move through your leads, you only need to change the city and state and then paste in the rest of the main keyword term. As an example, you're calling on pool builders in Orlando, Florida. You may want to have a search ready for swimming pool contractor, Orlando, Florida. This way you can see who the players are in the paid search areas up top, the dominant Google business profiles on the map, and the directories like Houzz and HomeAdvisor just below, and finally the organically ranked companies. As a part of your vertical effort, an understanding of that industry's search layout is going to be helpful because you'll find that it's essentially the same in each market, only with different players. All of this is at your disposal, and using it can give you a quick feel for each market and an understanding of who's dominating it. As you move through your pitch, you can begin to find those companies who are real players, but who lack a strong presence online. In my opinion, these are always the best prospects, real companies who just have a shitty online presence. There are other best practices which are important to master as well, especially if you're immersing yourself in a decent-sized vertical market. And these are, what are the main trade groups or associations? Which trade shows are on the schedule and what kind of attendance do they get? What's the major publication for the industry? Are there franchises in there or large-scale multi-location company-owned locations? Are there niche marketing agencies that focus on the swimming pool market? What are the largest Facebook groups for those industries, and can you join them as a non-direct industry member? Understanding these types of things is the fastest way to truly grasp the vertical market you're working. The knowledge gained in understanding this is what can help your cold call feel much warmer to you and to your prospect. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode of the Closer series, and let's make it a powerful month. Thank you.